One of the most ridiculed claims of the dead ball era made by Cobb and Wagner and Fred Clark and other guys was that you could step to where you saw the pitch coming and hit it. And that just seems flat impossible. I'm one of the people who's always had trouble understanding that. My name is John Harris. My website is smallballsuccess.com. Hope you'll visit it sometime. I'm really excited about something that I think I've discovered just by accident the other day. I don't know how it ever even occurred to me, but I've been on this website advocating standing way back from the plate, not really even back toward the catcher so much as back away from the plate, and then striding in and giving that direct, slightly downward swing from the shoulder. The barrel's coming down off the shoulder. You're using the hands to flip it down, and you're transferring your weight to the front foot, and that will allow you to be very light on the ball and yet send a low line drive to the opposite field without having it spin foul or stay airborne for very long. You're not swinging under it, you're going straight into it. And I think that works really well, but if you do that, you're not going to pull anything except a pitch that fools you a little bit and you're early on it. And you can sometimes pull that pitch effectively, but otherwise, I'll admit, I just basically gave up on pull hitting. I think pull hitting is a low percentage play for most people. I think most guys who are going to get close to 400, not that that is a very big group, especially these days, but they're going to be basically up the middle and even opposite field hitters. Well, okay, so here's what I somehow discovered. I think I literally just woke up after a night's sleep and this was in my head. And it works. I'm going to do a demonstration in just a minute, but if I am well off the plate and I'm taking that step into the pitch, I might step so far that my knee is actually bent. I'm going to have to transfer that weight forward, so I'm really going to have to slide forward and maybe land on a bent knee and shoot the ball the other way. If I'm going to end up pulling the ball because it comes inside, all I have to do is stop myself early. So I'm not going to come on a slide onto a bent knee. I'm not going to lunge, as it were. I'm going to stop myself as fast as I can on my forward leg and maybe even lean back a little bit. I still am going to transfer my weight forward, but I might be falling back a little bit as I do it. That's going to allow me to keep my hands in, and I'm just going to, as I say, lower the head of the bat onto the ball. So that's for the outside pitch. That's for the inside pitch, and that's the second one is the one that I'm going to pull. It actually works because you're staying off the ball. You're not running into it. You're not letting it jam you. You're keeping yourself back. And you're not actually, this is what was so confusing to me, and I think to all of us who came later and heard this claim, but you're not actually stepping to different directions where you see the ball coming. You're just stopping that weight shift that's going somewhat toward the pitcher, but also somewhat into the plate. You're interrupting it much sooner if you see that the ball is going to come inside. So the direction is basically the same in either case, and that makes adjusting that stride to the pitch much, much easier. Now, I think the reason that those of us who've come later find this so hard to figure out is that I'm a child of my times, like all the people my age and younger. You know, we're thinking of Ted Williams, and we're thinking about throwing the forward hip and getting into the ball that way. You do have to think like a pre-science of hitting guy. You have to think like somebody from the dead ball era. We're not emphasizing throwing the hip and swinging open. We're transferring the weight forward and coming down into the ball with the barrel. So we don't need to flip the hip outward like that. We're just weight forward, barrel down into the ball. Now let me see if I can illustrate this with a few swings. I'm going to set the camera up so that you can see the pitch coming in, and maybe I'll have time to do another angle as well. Of course, with this little machine, I can't get pitches that are going inside and outside, so I can't show you myself adjusting to where the pitches are coming through cooperation from the pitcher. I don't have a thinking pitcher here. But what I can do is I can set up farther back in the box and show you how I'm going to kind of lunge for the ball that's outside, and then I'll set up more on the plate and show you how I'm just going to pull up real sharp, just get my front foot down as quick as I can, not stride out at all, and lower the bat head on the ball to pull the ball. And I'll try to do a few of each. I'll start with going away with the outside pitch. It's interesting that it did actually pitch me inside with a couple of those, and I did get jammed. But now I'm going to get up on the plate farther, and you're just going to see me come immediately, as fast as I can, up on the front leg and just lean back, and it's going to be pulled, or at least hit up the middle is what I'm predicting. Well, that worked pretty well. Let me just see if I can show some side angles. I'm afraid my little machine works a little bit fast. I got so tired that I was rushing there toward the end, and I was getting my weight transferred too quickly, but I got in some really good shots, especially up the middle. I did pull a couple pretty hard too. It's hard to pull a ball. I still think it's much better to try to shoot the other way in terms of average, in terms of overall results, unless you're a big, strong, heavy home run hitter, but sometimes even a smaller guy, you want to pull. You want to hit for power to that field. There may be a short porch over there that may be the way to advance runners. So I'm really excited that you can do this using this swing with the little Tris Speaker hop that I've said is my favorite swing. You can do this. It works. And I think this also explains why I've seen so many images of these dead ball hitters that actually show them leaning, even though the weight has been transferred forward, they're leaning back when they finish. It's because they got that front foot down so early, and they're actually kind of falling back, you know, getting the hands in, not taking a big stride, getting into the ball real early. I think that's what puts them in that position. Give it a try.